What up? Welcome back everybody to another video, and I'm excited to do this. I'm excited to do this experiment. We will see how it goes. I'm going to post this first one on the main channel, but if we have to, if you guys want to see it moved on another channel, we definitely can. There are polls up in the community, so definitely go check those out. If you guys are here, I appreciate all of you guys for at least stopping in to see how it goes and see how, it goes when we talk about Michigan and Michigan State sports. So let's get it started. Michigan basketball and Michigan State basketball, both of which teams played their opening game last night. Now, one team won and one team lost, but one team played a really good team and the other team played a shaky team. Okay, so let me explain what's going on. So basically, Michigan played last night. They played first. They won 79-71 over Appalachian State. Michigan State, they played later. They had like a later night game. I actually watched that pretty much the entire thing. And Michigan State actually lost this game in a close battle to number 2 Kentucky. Okay, Michigan State came into this game ranked number 1 in college basketball. They lost to number 2 by a score of 62-69. Not a bad loss. Very good Kentucky team. They have a lot of young talent, but Michigan State was not able to hold on, so they will lose that number 1 spot, at least for now. We're going to start off by looking at the Michigan game, and then we'll get into the Michigan State game. So looking at the Michigan basketball game against Appalachian State, they had a huge lead in this game. They almost blew a huge lead, and it would have been super embarrassing. At one point, they were by 30 in this game. They blew a 21-point lead that they had at halftime, and they ended up only winning this game by 8 points. This game got to within 5 for Appalachian State. Marines did buckle down, and they did hold on at the end of the game, and they made sure that they were able to keep the win, because this would have been a terrible way to start the season with the first game of Juwan Howard's head coaching career at Michigan, or at least the first one that counts. Coming into this game, we knew the Wolverines had a lot of question marks. They lost out on a lot of really good talent in the last couple of years, and really last year, losing out on guys like Jordan Poole to the Golden State Warriors. They lost out on one of their other players in Charles Matthews, Iggy Brastinkis, 3 really good players, 3 really starters for this team, and they lost out on all of those players. It happens to every team in college basketball, but then add that to getting a new basketball coach, because you lost your head coach, one of the best basketball coaches in history. You lost him to the Cleveland Cavaliers. I'm sorry, John Beilein. I don't know why they did it to you, but he's over with the Cleveland Cavaliers, and right now Michigan has a lot of question marks. And coming into this game, there were a lot of question marks. Who's the number 1 scorer? It looked like it would be Isaiah Livers, a guy that's been here for a while. He's got a lot of minutes when the other guys were here, and he was one of their better scorers, and he made a lot of big plays for them in tournament games and big games in the Big Ten. And this game coming into it, we were maybe expecting him to be the leading scorer. That was not the case. He played a solid game, but it actually was Eli Brooks who stepped up to the table. Eli Brooks dropped 24 points, and he was a guy that, I don't know, seemed a little bit timid, at least in the last few years, right? He would come in, he just didn't seem full of confidence, and in this game, he was out there ready to play, dropping 5 3-pointers, having 24 points to go along with John Teske, who dropped 17 points. Those 2 guys really led the show for Michigan basketball, and they were able to keep the Michigan Wolverines with a win to start the season off 1-0. This game got close to the end, but Eli Brooks was able to hit some free throws. They were able to take care of business. But that was really interesting to see who was going to step up. I think Isaiah Livers could be the leading scorer by the end of the season. There's no doubt. I really like John Teske. I was excited to see how he would do. He's going to have a way bigger impact. But Eli Brooks definitely stood out to me, and he showed a lot from the guard position. Xavier Simpson didn't have the best day, so it was big to see what Eli Brooks could do. Now, looking at the Michigan State side of things, Michigan State lost by 7 to Kentucky, who is ranked number 2. They will probably now be ranked number 1. They should be. But this was a close game that seemed to go back and forth. It never seemed like Michigan State ever had control over this game, right? They were trailing at halftime. They never seemed to grab control, but Kentucky and Michigan State were close throughout. There was no blowout sequence. It wasn't like that. There were some runs for each side. It was close when it came down to the end, but when it mattered most, Kentucky was able to step up, and they were able to rely on their young man, Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese Maxey, a very young player that just kind of shot onto the scene with a huge night, scoring 26 points and hitting a dagger 3-pointer over Michigan State, who kind of outplayed Cassius Winston, who dropped 21 points. Now, Cassius Winston, we know, is Michigan State's best player. He is here for another year, and he's this guy that's going to carry this team. And there was a lot of expectations for this Michigan State team, because yes, they did lose some players. They lost guys like McQuaid, but they still have some very talented pieces around, like Tillman and like Aarons and guys like that. So there's definitely a talent around. The problem was those guys could not shoot at all. They were basically broke. You could say broke, okay, from the 3-point line. They couldn't get anything to drop. They really never could get a rhythm going offensively. And when you look outside of Cassius Cassius Winston 21 points. The rest of the players, they only were a combined 17 out of 44 from the field. So that really shows that Michigan State may still be looking for that number 2. We weren't exactly sure who that was going to be coming into the season. Very similar to Michigan, we weren't really sure who their number 1, number 2, or number 3 would be. Now I think we've got some answers there, but looking at Michigan State, we weren't really sure who was going to be that next guy for Cassius Winston. We still may not know who that is at this point because really no one else stepped up other than Cassius Winston. Kentucky looks like a really good all-around team. Michigan State fell, but there is no doubt they're definitely a competitive and tough team, and good for Michigan to get their first win of the season. So Michigan sits at 1-0. Michigan State sits at 0-1, but it's very early in the season. We'll see how it plays out. But again, thank you all for stopping in. This is the experimental video. We're going to see how it goes, see how you guys react to this. If you guys want to move to a different channel, just let me know. If you guys want to see me talk about something else, let me know. But I thought I would try this. And if you guys want to hear me talk about Michigan and Michigan State football, that is something I'd be down to do as well, because I'm super excited, at least about Michigan football, because I think down the stretch it's going to be really exciting. Michigan State's definitely struggled this year, but I'll definitely throw them in as well, because I know a lot of you guys are Michigan State fans. So there you go. Michigan's 1-0, Michigan State's 0-1. It's early in the season, and that is your takeaways from last night's games. Let me hear your thoughts and comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'm out.